can move on.
All right, my question was about the need. What need did you identify in our society? Well, why did you decide to go for the energy drink? And are you planning to expand your Mofire brand beyond just an energy drink? Are you planning to go into clothing? Are you planning to go into other products?
Very good question. I mean, I answered partly that question, and I said the need for me is it speaks to me. You know, I was coming from the entertainment industry. I travel a lot. I'm always on the road. I'm always doing gigs, bashes, gigs. I'm everywhere. And a lot of young people, or a lot of people, let me just say, a lot of people ask you, how do you do it? Like the one time you're there, the one time. So what speaks to me as well at the time is I was consuming a lot of energy drinks. You know, one of my mentors said to me, if you spend too much on it, then own it. I didn't immediately think about the idea. But it happened a couple of years later. I think he had planted a seed. And I kind of felt, you know, you want to sell a product that you can also consume and that speaks to your lifestyle. So you pretty much seem believable to the market out there. But I mean, we started it properly as a proper business. For me, I'd learned from some of the mistakes I'd had when I started a record label. And I always make an example and I say, record company, you know, we actually didn't even know that we were going to do well. But we couldn't get signed anywhere. And we wanted to get into the music industry. And we started TS Records. And T, which was my business partner, TK, and then S standing for SWOO, TS Records. And that's pretty much how it started, that business. And as much as we did very well, we made a lot of mistakes. We were young, we were dumb, we thought we were smart. We didn't invest in growing the business. Every time we'd throw the money, we'd make hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And we'd spend them on nice cars, etc. I think the one smart thing we were smart about was obviously to buy ourselves homes and invest in property. But still, we wasted a lot of money buying unnecessary cars, and we owed the tax man. We made a lot of mistakes. We didn't get a good lawyer. We didn't get a good accountant. So we made so many mistakes. But with Mofire, we did our research and development first from 2012 to sort of check into the energy drink space. Who consumes them? How often do they consume them? Who are the biggest players there? Who leads that space? How many, you know, how much revenue do they make? Is there an opportunity for us, for other young black players, etc.? And we found that it was a 4.7 billion rands industry and there were no black players. And at the time when we started, there were 32 other energy drinks there. None of them are owned by black people. Till today, none of the energy drinks that are in the market are owned by black people. So we saw an opportunity, we saw a gap, because we kind of felt most energy drinks were also speaking to the elite, you know, to people that are doing very well, middle class, etc. But we were thinking about people on the ground, and then that's how pretty much we decided to come up with the brand. That's the main reason why we came up with Mofire. We saw that the business was viable.
All right, with regards to accessibility, right, to the market and retails, because Mofire is not sold everywhere. How are you finding that challenge, and what do you think can be done in order for other new local brands to have accessibility to such, and what's hindering them from being accessible to that? I mean, you can have an awesome brand, but if it's not accessible in different stores, then it's not going to be successful. So how can we go about to handle that issue?
Very good question. Your answer is just right there next to you. Policy shift from government that forces younger players to be in on equal footing and equal space with, you know, younger companies. Government has put in certain policies that empower small companies. There are a lot of companies that are forced to empower, you know, young black companies and incubate them and support them. But not a lot of them are doing that. And especially with the way we came out with Mofire, we made a lot of noise, and I kind of feel we ruffled the feathers. I guess that's why some people are calling me a guerrilla marketer. But we made so much noise that some people were sort of, I'd say, intimidated, and a lot of people were sort of scared. The manner in which we came out with our brand was not normal, was not usual. But you need to remember that we're also young. We didn't have any other ways to come into the market. We didn't have millions to advertise and do things proper where we speak to the Pick and Pays of this world, the ShopRites, to stock our product. But yes, we did. We worked hard. We had countless meetings. People turned us down. People refused to take our product. We came on knocking. It's been 4 years now, knocking on different doors, trying to get our product into the marketplace. But late 2016, we decided that, okay, it's taking us longer to get into the retail space. Why do not we empower young black people who are unemployed graduates in the townships and taverns in the townships, and let's just pretty much make it a street brand and a township brand. And instead of us having to look at large profit margins, let's cut down our profits so that we pass it on to young people to sell it so they make money for themselves. So you'll find Mofire in streets, in the street corners, at taxi ranks. It's everywhere. Our brand, in terms of the balance sheet and the bottom line, we're doing very well. We're growing from time to time, although we do not have presence in the retail space. But we kind of feel that will put pressure in such a way that eventually those guys will reach out to us to say, hey, there's no stopping this brand. It's just growing and growing and growing. There's an opportunity for us to get them into our stores and make money with these guys. Because at the end of the day, if it's selling, whether they like us or they don't like us, they're going to want to make a bit of the money that we're making from selling it in the streets. And once they have it in their stores, then it starts growing that way. We currently are available at Pick and Pay. And because Pick and Pay is on board, others are starting to listen to us. So we're speaking to different people. So very soon, it will be available nationwide, I think within the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah. Nami nginembuzo nyana a few nje ngifuna ukuyazi. Ama-European or Western products ayakubhulisha uthola ama-challenges from bona and also late last year or last year bengizwa mhlambe ama-rumor I was seeing it ku-internet ukuthi you were trying to build also isinkwa and the toilet paper. So if it's true, how far are you with that? Do you think also you will use your same marketing strategy, selling it on the streets and all that?
So, firstly, I couldn't be taken when I was a first-time author. My first book in 2013, CNA didn't want to take us in. Exclusive Books didn't want to take us in. We sold the books in the streets, and we created demand, making noise using social media, that there was so much traffic into CNA stores and Exclusive Books nationwide. And I was telling my fans that you must order the book, you must force them to call the head office and order the book. I put so much pressure that eventually, now I'm on my third book, it's them that email us. When is your third book coming out? We've already pre-ordered 5,000 copies because my previous book made them a lot of money. They made a lot of money. I made a lot of money. It was a bestseller. Even the first book was a bestseller. So I'm using the same strategy with More Fire. And coming back to your answer, when it comes to you were asking about before isinkwa ne toilet paper, you said what was the question again, sir?
Ama products wangaphandle, ama brands wangaphandle.
Oh yeah, good. Sure. It's a very good question because sometimes we fall into the victim mentality of blaming other guys because they're bullying you. Even if they are, I think you shouldn't look at it like that. You should look at what ways can I use, or what strong points that I have can I use to benefit me and put me in an advantageous position as opposed to these giants. So I started reading a book called David versus Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. And I started getting inspired to come up with ways that benefit me where the big giants cannot touch me in the department. And that's exactly in the streets. They can't touch me in the streets. I'm in touch with young people. There's a lot of unemployment in the country. I've got social media following. I've got over 2 million across my social media, people following me. Most of them don't work. Most of them are students. They cannot afford. They would love to get an opportunity to make money with me. And I guess that's how I came up with the strategy and change the strategy, because sometimes there's certain things that will happen in your journey. The vision stays the same, but you got to change the tactics so that you still get there. I'm doing very well as opposed to when I was still asking for help. Have me in your store, have me in your store. I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of begging. Let me do the same thing I did with the book. Let me sell this thing in the streets and empower young hustlers. And more daily, every day, there's more and more hustlers that are taking on the drink, that are selling it. You've got university students that are selling it. So more and more noise is being made now. I can't wait. I think at some point, we're going to start getting a lot. And actually, they've started getting emails, people inviting us for meetings to say, hey, tell us more about your brand. We'd love to stock you. We've got 143 outlets nationwide. And another email, hey, we've got 70 outlets nationwide. We'd like to stock you. So the conversation is starting now, but only 4 years later. But I was persistent, I did not give up, and I kept on the dream. And I came up with different strategies, but the vision stayed the same. Sure. And then the toilet paper and the bread, I was starting the project simultaneously. Little did I know what to expect. When I started expecting the challenges in the market with More Fire, and then I was like, okay, let me park the other projects. Let me focus on this project first and make it succeed. And once it succeeds and eventually it cracks the retail space, it's easier for any other brands that I'm going to come up with to fit in there and get in there. And I think in the process, it's given me an opportunity to educate the market, to educate South Africans about patriotism, about supporting our own, about black excellence, as exactly as you were saying, that we have to make our products and brands to be of international standards, as opposed to expecting the consumer to buy just because it's South African. So that black excellence, I've done my homework. The drink is of international standards. People love it overseas. We supply some drinks to London, we're there. Some places in Ghana, we're there. Namibia, we're there. Some places in Zimbabwe, we're there. We're getting into the DRC. We're in Tanzania. We're about to get into Kenya and Nigeria by the end of this year. So the brand is of international standards, and I'd like to encourage other people that are going to come up with brands and products to make them to be of international standards. So at a later stage, I'll come up with the brand in the toilet paper.
All right. One last question. Like South Africa, do we have brands, or we are just making noise? Ukuthi we are not recognized, and also I want to know ukuthi with these brands that we have, are they of that quality compared to for example, Red Bull? I will use a Red Bull because it's normal. A Red Bull is